bird on a tree. I'm just sitting here. I got time. It's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We're meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. Step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell. You and me, we're meant to be outdoors, forever free. You and me, meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
Hello, I am Uncle Mike, your favorite gamer's favorite uncle, and welcome to, what is today, Tuesday? Welcome to Tuesday afternoon, and yeah, so is it Tuesday? Yeah, it's Tuesday. And so, I want to do actually a flight this afternoon. Tomorrow we can also do Wheels Up Wednesday, so maybe another flight tomorrow also. But we're on the Xbox Series S in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, and I've been thinking about, like, what could I do? Because I've been doing some live streams in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and I've been wondering about, you know, what are some of the things that I could do to come up with flights in there and to kind of keep it fresh and new. And so then I was actually watching where a video, I'm not really sure of the channel, but where they recreate some of the incidents and accidents that happened in military and commercial and general aviation using flight sims. And I was like, well, why can't I recreate people's flights that they have on YouTube that are just good flights that they have on YouTube? I've got a bunch of people I subscribe to that are out there, from the Flying Cowboys to Jason Good and his Air Coupe to Blanco Lirio out there, to some new ones like Aviation 101 and Super 701. And so I was like, you know, a lot of those airplanes are in flight sim, so why don't I recreate some of their flights? And so I was out there and I was looking, and one of the channels that I enjoy, it's a sailing channel because both Aunt Cindy and myself are certified bareboat sailboat captains, and we've done that sailing and stuff with friends. And then Steve Okanivo is another one of those YouTubers and real world pilots that puts videos out there, and he made a video a couple years ago where he actually flew out to the Berry Islands from Pompano Beach in Florida, and it's a direct flight from Florida out to the Keys, and so the Bahama Keys to the Berry Islands, I guess. And so I thought that would be an easy one to start with. So yeah, we are here let's go ahead and jump into Microsoft Flight Simulator. So here we are with the Cessna 182 and got the door open. We're going to cold start this. We are VFR. It's a pretty nice day. Got a few clouds we might have to dodge or something like that. But I'm basically going to recreate their flight, and at the end of the video I'll go ahead and I'll put a link. There's already a link in the description, but I will also put a link at the end of the end screen to the actual video so you can watch that. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into the airplane. So let's go ahead and get in here. It's a pretty hot day, so I'm going to go ahead and leave the window open right here. And let's go ahead and get rid of the yokes just for visibility. Let's go ahead and let's get everything set here. So let's let's go ahead and just move everything forward. We are going to go ahead and turn everything on. We are in the airplane, so let's go ahead and turn on the beacon so everybody knows that we're here. Go ahead and get this prepped too and warmed up. Yep, understand, I got all kinds of stuff going off. Don't need to hear that. Let's go ahead and turn the fuel pump on. Go ahead and put full rich, get some fuel in there. There we go. Let's go ahead and back it off and fuel pump. I'm not really sure if actually I should have done that. Pull the let's go full rich. Let's go ahead and do that, because if we pull the mixture out, now I'm just going to go ahead and turn the fuel pump on just for a little bit longer here. Alright, there we go. And let's just go ahead and check to make sure parking brake, fuel valves were already on. I noticed that. Cowl flaps. Go ahead and open up the cowl flaps for now. And yeah, I think we're pretty much ready to go here. Let's go ahead and go for. So here we go, huh? Let's go ahead and do this. And so, can I get a clear prop? Go. Go ahead and get this, warm it up here. Always sit on the ground. Let's go ahead and close that up so it's not as loud for us. There we go, nice. But yeah, it's going to basically be take off, climb out, then head east. It's pretty simple. It's a direct flight, so yeah, I'm not too worried about it, because we're in this really nice turbocharged Cessna 182. We're going to get up fairly high, so let's go ahead and in our avionics here, let's go ahead. We're already set. I don't want to go to 10,000. I want to go, since we're doing VFR, let's go 9,500. We're heading east, so we'll go odd plus 500 VFR. That's what we do. Let's go ahead and also, with these modern avionics, we can actually do a flight level change. So let's go ahead and 95 knots climb out. So there we go. I'm going to go ahead and cycle the autopilot here on the ground. Go ahead and turn on flight level change. Here we go. So we are now set to go, just getting that all set up for us. And let's go ahead and listen to the weather. So let's bring up the weather. So turn to Pompano Beach ATIS and
Pompano Beach Airport information, Echo 1900 Zulu. Wind 277 at 7. Visibility, 9er. Sky condition, few clouds at 1,800 feet, few clouds at 4,800 feet, ceiling 18,300 feet broken. Temperature, 15. Dew point, 1 tree. Altimeter, 29er, decimal 9er 2.
Standard temp.
Visual runway, 28 in use. Landing and departing runway,
Alright,
28.
runway 28.
DFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact.
Alright, we got echo now. That's good. Let's go ahead and go to ground. We know what we want to do. It doesn't look like there's any real problems here with weather, so I'm not going to go ahead and do a instrument flight plan. If the weather looked really bad, then we could go ahead and do that. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and tell them we're ready to taxi, and we're going to depart to the east.
Pompano Beach ground, November 59er, 6 kilo, ready to taxi east, departure with Echo.
November 59er, 6 kilo, taxi 2 and hold short of runway 28 via taxiway Bravo, cross runway 33. Contact tower on 125 decimal.
It's good.
Ready.
Taxi 2 and hold short runway 28 using
Alright,
taxiway.
so we
Bravo,
are set to
cross
go.
Runway tree 6 kilo.
There we go. Remember, I have the taxi ribbon on just so that way we don't have to really learn all of the airport diagrams and taxiways and all that. So we'll just follow the taxi ribbon here. It's part of the assistance program that you can turn on or off within Microsoft Flight Sim. Alright, just a quick taxi here, but we are departing to the west. So we'll need to do a climb out and then eventually make a 180 almost to the east. But like I said, we'll just follow ATC's instructions here. So a little bit of a difference from, I think, the real world flight. I think they just departed right to the east out of Pompano Beach. Come up here, we'll do a run up. Make sure everything is on, transponder and everything is set to go. Lights are set to go. Oh, a little hard there on the old rudder. We are in 59er 6 kilo, which is actually here the Cessna 182 livery. It's marked on the aircraft itself. So we're gonna, oh no, we're actually on a runway here. So I'm gonna kind of get a little bit out of the way, come over here. Kind of spin us around here into the wind, put the parking brake on, and let's do our run up here on our way out to the Berry Islands in the Bahamas. Alright, so parking brake is set. Let's go ahead and throttle up here, get some. We'll go about 1800 on the old RPMs. Let's get a nice run up here. Let's come over here and cycle the magnetos, looking for that drop. And just a little bit of a drop there on the magnetos. Good. Nothing too bad. We don't want a bad drop. That means the magnetos are bad. That means our spark plugs are bad over there. They're not far. The spark plugs not necessarily bad. The magnetos are bad, but the spark plugs aren't firing. So magnetos look really good. Everything's, oil pressure's coming up, which we had in the beginning. Cylinder head temperature, inlet temperature, all looks good. We got plenty of fuel for this flight. Let's cycle the oil through the prop here. There we go. So see a drop in RPM and a drop in oil pressure as we're feeding oil into the system that controls our prop. So this is different if you haven't flown an airplane that has a constant speed propeller. So let's go ahead and cycle that again. Alright, everything looks good. We cycled through there. Alright, let's check, make sure we're all set to go here. We are taking off on runway 28. So I'm going to go ahead and set the heading bug to 280. Alright, heading bug is set to 280. Let's go ahead and Change this to GPS. So now that's on to GPS. 9,500 feet. Climb out looks good. Everything else looks real good on avionics. Transponder is set to 12.1200, which is a VFR. Let's go ahead and turn on nav lights, strobe, and landing lights. And now let's go ahead and parking brake comes off. Let's go ahead and get that going. Let's come up to the hold markers here. Let's call the tower, and let's get going here on our flight out to the Berry Islands. All right. So let's come in here. Let's go ahead and get a hold of the tower. We need to take off VFR from Pompano Beach. So here we go.
Pompano Beach Tower, November 59er, 6 kilo.
Do this.
Runway 28 ready for departure east departure.
November 59er 6 kilo altimeter 29er.902 wind 277 at 7. Departure to the east approved.
All right.
Cleared for takeoff runway 28.
There we go. We are ready to go. Let's go ahead and acknowledge that.
Cleared for takeoff runway
Skypo.
289er, 6 kilo.
All right, here we go. We are heading out to the Berry Islands. Recreation of a flight that is on YouTube, in real life flight. Same plane, taking off from the same airport, flying to the same destination. Oh man, this thing is really light on the old nose wheel here. All right, line up and wait here. We've got our, I see runway 28. We got clearance for takeoff. All right, so let's go ahead and do this, our little gums check here. So yeah, so don't have to worry about, see, gas is on both. Mixture is all looking good. It's undercarriage. Don't have to worry about any mixture. Props, seats and seat belts, we are ready to go. Lights are all set to go. All right, let's do this. And we'll go ahead and put in 10 notch of flaps. It's a little late on that, but that's all right, it's okay. Come back on the... Alright, go ahead and stay in ground effect here. Accelerate. Passing through 75 knots, flaps come up. Alright, looking good, looking good. And then go ahead and now pitch for 95. This thing's a beast. I'm telling you, it's a beast. It's 182 turbo. Once that turbo kicks in, we got some.
9er 6 kilo, continue for east departure.
Roger that.
Pompano Beach Tower, November 59er 6 kilo. Continue for east departure.
Looking good. I'm hand flying, hand trimming, trim. 95 knots. So we're just gonna climb out here per our plan. We're heading west, but we need to go east. There is wind and weather and all that kind of stuff here, so we're gonna get bounced around here in the sim. This is Florida weather for you. All right, we'll start making our turn here. Start heading out over the water. I'm good, Capo. How are you? I am having a good time flying out here. We are passing through 2,100 feet.
9er 6 kilo, leaving my airspace frequency.
All right, we are already.
Pompano Beach Tower, November 59er 6 kilo frequency change.
Everything is looking real sharp here. Still pitching for that. Looking for that 95 knots. We just climb up here. Don't really need to change too much. We could lean out as we climb higher through 5,000 feet. But we'll just go ahead and just come on out here. We'll go ahead and get on course and on heading. We are VFR, so we need to stay clear of clouds. So we've got this cloud right in front of us here. got plenty of visibility, so we're just going to need to deviate here just a little bit to the left. Stay clear of that. A little fast here. We're going to keep our climb going. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pull back on the prop here. Slow those RPMs down just a little bit here for the climb. Let's go ahead and get out of this busy airspace. Passing through 4,100 feet. Everything's looking real good here. You trim. A little fast, still just need a little bit more trim. I'm just hand flying here with the controller, so if you're interested in Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 on the Xbox, you can just fly it with the controller here. Alright, let's keep climbing up here. (5,100 feet). We're going to 9,500 feet. Got it trimmed up nicely here on the controller. Alright, gonna level off here. We got to go ahead and get the autopilot on here. Get that autopilot now pitching for us. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, Hawaii would be a good place to actually fly around here in Flight Sim. It'd probably be a real nice. Oh, 9,500 on the out. There we go. Climbing on up under autopilot here. We are pretty much right on course, so I'm going to go ahead and come down here to nav mode. And oh, that's not nav mode. That's nav mode. There we go. We got 27 inches of manifold pressure. I'm going to go ahead and come back on the manifold pressure a little bit as the autopilot gets us back on course. It'll probably do like a little S-turn here as it puts us on course. It seems to do that when it intercepts. But there we are. This is a nice Cessna 182 turbo. As we let the autopilot go ahead and intercept on for us. Yeah, Hawaii would be that would be a great place to go do a flight. And maybe I need to look and see if there's a YouTube or something, because that's what I'm doing right now. Is this a recreation of a flight that Steve-O Knievo did out to the sailboat sailing La Vagabonde, which also has a YouTube channel. So it's really cool that I'm just going to recreate actual in real life flights. So alright, we're up here now. We can go ahead and turn off landing lights. We really don't need the landing lights on. We got the autopilot now climbing us up to 9,500 feet at 95 knots. So everything is looking real good, and out here at 599 or 6 kilos. Once we get up here to cruise, we'll go ahead and set for cruise power. Save some of our fuel. We got plenty of fuel for the trip. If you notice right up here, we've got ground speed 114 knots in the climb. We've got just over an hour. We've got some crossing traffic here. They're probably up high. Nope, right down there. Look at that right there. Crossing traffic. We got maintained VFR though. Looks real nice. That is pretty cool though. Look at that crossing traffic right there. Don't know if it's real players or not, but there they go. It seems as if I would say that the majority of players with the ships out there off the coast of Florida, but the majority of other players fly commercial airliners. I really like the small stuff, general aviation, like they said, these YouTubers and stuff like that. So, all right, pass through 8,500 or 8,400 going to 9,500. We're on to autopilot. So It's a beautiful day out here, so we did not go IFR. That is just like in the video they talk about. Like I said, once we get up here, we'll set for cruise power. So you can see right there, we got en route climb powers, 2,400 RPMs, and 25 inches of manifold pressure. So I could actually go ahead and bring a little bit more prop in. There we go, 25 inches and 24. So 25 by 24 right there. That is right there on the placard. Once we get up, then we can back this off. Maybe do something like 20 inches and 2,400 RPMs or something like that, just save some fuel. But it's not really required that we do that because we've got plenty of fuel for the flight. So everything's looking real good as we head out here. But again, this is a flight that I'll put the link that was done in real life, and that's what I'm going to start doing with my Microsoft Flight Simulator live streams, is recreate in real life flights and link to the real videos so you can check those out, because I sure do enjoy watching their in real life flights. I don't know if I'll ever get back into real life flying, so it keeps it fresh and fun and new, and kind of keeps me, I guess I almost say, like in the community and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, pretty amazing stuff here. So all right, we are coming up here. The autopilot's going to slowly pitch us over here. And so maximum continuous power is 24 gallons per hour at 32 inches, but we're not going to do that. We'll see here. We're going to back off. We're just about right at, we're coming up here, so I'm going to go ahead and back off the manifold pressure here. About 23 inches. Now I'm going to start pulling the prop out. For about 2,200 RPMs. And we can come down here. We can watch our temps so we can start. Yeah, let's go ahead, and since we're now at cruise, let's also go ahead and close up the cowl flaps so they're closed. Get some better heat going or flow going through around her. So now let's watch those temperatures. Temperatures on the rise there, and so I'm going to go ahead and feed in just a little bit more mixture, and there we go. We've got cruise power set, 23 inches, 2,200 RPMs. We are 141 knots over the ground. We got a real nice tailwind. 119 indicated, but 141. Going to take us 45 minutes to get there with this nice tailwind. Let's come over here to avionics and let's go ahead and get rid of the inset map. I don't really need that. We can go ahead and bring up wind. I like option 3. So now we've got the wind. You can see we've got a tailwind here. We can also bring up information for our GPS. So even though it's all across the top here. And we can come over here in our flight plan. If I remember how to do this with all these controls. There we go. Come down here to there. And I think it's menu. No, I think it's this one. No, maybe it's this one. There it is. Activate the leg. There we go. Not sure what that just did. Well, I don't know what that really did. So instead we're going to go direct now. let that autopilot do its thing. Just trying to go ahead and get flight plan set up, but we'll just do direct now. Oh, your plane's a TBM 940. I will do a flight because Stevo Canivo, he flies the TBM 850 in real life, and we've got the TBM 930 here in Flight Sim. And so, yeah, I will do at least a flight in the TBM. But it's a great plane, actually. It's less complicated even here than the Cessna 172 and 182 that we're flying right here. The systems are so much easier. They're more touch button. It's just a great plane to fly, and it's standard. It comes stock with the Flight Sim. So, all right, let's take a look and see what we're doing here. So, yeah, we're 142 knots over the ground. We're now flying direct to Great Harbour at Berry Islands. That is where Sailing La Vagabonde has their boat, and so we are going to go out and do a delivery for them. Everything is looking good. I like what I see. Everything is in the green. It looks like we're burning about 20 gallons per hour. So, looking good. So, we got 20 gallons in the left and 20 gallons in the right. So, we got plenty of fuel. Yeah, so here we are. Nice easy day, beautiful day here. Fly November 599 at 6 kilo out to the Berry Islands. Of course, now that we're up here, we can actually have some fun if you want. We could actually set up the drone camera. Give you a different view. We are in the airplane. There we are. Oops. There we are. I think it's got like a 240 horsepower engine in the front, so that's why it just looks faster. The Cessna 182 kind of also sits squatty on the ground with those wider legs. They're looking good. We fly out here to the Berry Islands. Yeah, pretty cool model here that they've really done. This is not stock at all. This is payware. But I needed the Cessna 182. Very cool. All right, let's go ahead and go back in the cockpit here. Hey, indie gamer, what's up? This is not an indie game. You've seen me on my bad side. I'm so sorry. I cheated on the indie games. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool to chat with you there on Twitter. But yeah, welcome to my channel here. This is kind of my AAA game, I guess I say that I'll play. I will be also doing some Saints Row once it releases too. But I usually play the smaller, fun little puzzle platformers, or if you check out my YouTube channel, you'll see those. I kind of rebranded my YouTube channel from kind of a vlog YouTube channel. All my videos are still on my channel from over 3.5 years of videos. But I decided to go back to gaming just because gaming was, well, one thing is it was actually just easier to make videos, to focus on live streaming. I had all the cameras. I got like 2 GoPros and a Canon and all of this kind of stuff. And so I'll have to send you some of my other stuff if you're interested. I post links to them, so that way they're hidden. I can still link to them on Twitter and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I went to school for aerospace engineering and all that kind of stuff, so that's why I enjoy the flying. I've always been in Flight Sim even since the first Sublogic one. But I will be actually playing, I've been playing the Tourist, so I'll be playing that here once I get back. I'm going to do a couple flights here in the Flight Sim the next couple days. But I've been playing the Tourist, which is a really neat little fun artsy game. I've been enjoying that. And then I just downloaded Tunic. I needed something with some combat. I've been doing a lot of platform like I said, puzzle platformer, so I need something else. So, all right, I'm just gonna catch up. So, Kaipo. So yeah, you're talking here, but oh yeah, the French frigate Shoals. Yeah. That's out to the west of Hawaii. That's used to have a big old base. It's very interesting now. So yeah. So yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy the content. I haven't really been focused on YouTube. So those people who come in and enjoy and want to chat and all that kind of stuff, I definitely like talking to them. Obviously, Flight Sim is a good platform to actually just chat with viewers and all that, because heck, it's flying is like can be hours, right, of boredom followed by moments of sheer terror. Maybe kind of like a good combat game too, or something like that. But so yeah, just kind of monitor the stuff. In the Xbox version right now, there's a bug, and so there's no failures. You can't program in the failures like you can on the PC. So I don't expect anything to happen to us as we're flying out over the water here from Florida over to the Berry Islands in the Bahamas, which is a recreation of a in real life video. So yeah, it's I've been kind of focusing on the airplanes and having fun, and one of the F-16 Fighting Falcon that I bought for this is amazing airplane. It's amazing for flying on the controller, because it basically has its own self computer, like auto trim. So basically you point it where you want it, and it auto trims to that direction, which makes flying a lot easier, because on this airplane, if I wanted to auto trim, I'm on autopilot right now, but if I wanted to stick fly it, but I wanted to control the actual like elevator trim, I'd actually have to hold RB and then use the right stick up and down to literally like in a real airplane where you would be changing the pitch trim. So, but I've been kind of focusing on the airplanes, and I really kind of want to focus on the flight. So what I've talked about is I'm going to start doing in real life, or in Microsoft Flight Sim, recreations of in real life pilots who posted their videos on YouTube and literally fly their flights. So that's what I'm doing. So, and the glasses are because I'm flying. So I don't really cosplay at all or anything like that, but I wear the glasses when I'm flying. Well, at least when I'm flying during the day. So, but yeah, there's a lot of great airplanes and all that kind of stuff. So. Oh yeah, I saw it. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. I've been on YouTube since the beginning of 2019. It actually started as a weight loss vlog. That's my original YouTube channel. And then I went through that, lost a bunch of weight. I've gained some back, but lost a bunch of weight. Then it kind of became 2020 was like a hodgepodge of just kind of vlogging. 2021, then I was like, well, I'm gonna start doing like travel, and I bought a bunch of cameras and a bunch of equipment, and then that just got too hard. We started camping more and all this. It just got too hard. And I like sitting in front of a camera here and talking, kind of the podcast. I've been thinking about maybe doing like a little half-hour podcast and do a real podcast and upload it into Spotify or something like that, because I like talking about games. It's real simple, right? Okay, Uncle Mike here. Okay, even though just like you, all right? For thumbs up, hey, all of you out there. If there's lurkers out there, but hey, Capo, hey, Indie Gamer, both of you, right? Thumbs up, because you are amazing. But one of the things that, it's real simple right here. I'll just go. It's real simple. I'm Uncle Mike, your favorite gamer's favorite uncle. I like games. I like playing games. I like talking about games. It's that simple. That's my YouTube channel, right? Okay, so that's it. There's on the Twitterverse, there's all the politics even of our gaming industry and developers and all the console wars, I guess. I literally had Pong in the house when I was a kid. I remember being, like 6 years old and going to see the original Star Wars at the movie theater. I remember having the white little pamphlet of chainmail in the house. You know what that is? That's actually where D&D came from. A little white pamphlet of rules called chainmail. And then it became Dungeons and Dragons. I had Dungeons and Dragons because before there even was the first edition. And I played D&D all the time. Stranger Things, I love all the D&D stuff, right? So my channel here, it's about gaming. It's about playing games, having fun playing games, talking about having fun playing games. Because one of my sayings is, right, is that, you know, if you're laughing, then you're listening. And if you're listening, then you can learn. And I'm a big advocate that play and gaming is about learning. And so I really enjoy games that don't tell you the controls or the systems or anything like that. You have to figure that out. Was there an island? Did I just see an island? Yes. There's an island. We're passing over some island. It's not on the chart. Some little Bahama island out here. Oh, out there, that out the wingtip out there. Here, I can zoom in. See that island's out there? I know what that is. That's Bimini. That's the islands of Bimini, Bahamas. So, all right, let me get back in here where maybe it's not so. Yeah, it seems like it's pretty. Yeah, I think I always do this here. Let me just, while I'm talking here. Sorry about the engine noise. I could have made it a little quieter there for you while I'm talking, so it's a little better. I'm a little louder than the engine. So, what are my favorite games? That's cool. Okay, real quick. Kaipo, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. You know, if we do flight sim stuff and link it to real life flights, I think that's honorable. I think it's flattering for the people that actually do it, and it also gives us, you know, like can we do it as good as they did and have as much fun and make a good a video and as good a flight and stuff like that. So, all right. So, but yeah, what are my favorite games here? Been asked in chat. So, of all time or recently, like since I started my. Yeah, that's Bimini out there. That's Bimini. Yep. So yeah, so well, let me start. Let me just go ahead. I'll instead of asking more questions, I'll just answer it. So since I have been rebranded my YouTube channel, or not rebranded, reorganized, I've always been Uncle Mike. That's whole nother story. And I actually am an uncle, not a parent. I'm just an uncle, niece and nephew. Blah blah blah. Way too much information. TMI, Mike. Back it up. Questions. Question about which is my favorite game. Well, ever since now with the games I've been playing here, obviously Flight Sim, yes, is one of my favorite games, and it will always be because it's a simulator, and it's a really good simulator. So let's just go ahead and move that off to the side. Right now, if somebody asked me what would be your game of the year right now, what would be a game of the year that you would vote for? Citizen Sleeper by Jump Over the Age and Fellow Traveler. Amazing game. When I was looking for, I was really thinking about getting back into Dungeons and Dragons, like tabletop Dungeons and Dragons. And so, where's that island? Is that island? Yeah, there it is. Look at that. There's an island down there. Just a little Bahamian island. Okay. And so I was just doing a search. I was searching for tabletop RPG games. Like if somebody made literally an RPG like Dungeons and Dragons where they modeled everything, like the Dungeon Master, and you actually had to roll dice. And so I found like Dicey Dungeons and Lost in Random, because they all hit off the dice stuff. And this other game then was coming soon called Citizen Sleeper. And it talked about how it was inspired by text-based and tabletop RPGs. Oh, well, that's interesting. And so I played that game, and it was almost because I think it brought back so many memories of games like Zork. If you don't know what Zork is, Z-O-R-K. It was one of the original text-based adventure games that we played on PCs back in the day. And so it was based on that, and it was based on having systems, dice, basically rules. And so I got Citizen Sleeper, And it was amazing. No, I don't think you understand. You don't think, it was amazing. Okay. And because it had what I talked about earlier, it had where you had to discover the systems in the game. It had dice, it had clocks, so there was timers of missions and things. There were then missions you had to do. You had to make choices. There was skills, so you had to pick, a character, and then you had to pick as you leveled up. So yeah, it was it was amazing. So, but so yeah, if that's, but I do like puzzle. I do like puzzle platformers and puzzle games, because at my age I've done over 51 laps around the sun. And so, yeah, it's, yeah, I like to activate the brain. I like to keep it fresh, because I can tell I'm losing it. I'm losing it, man. I'm not as sharp as I was, back in the day. So, all right, real quick here, I'm going to jump in the cockpit and I'll catch up on some more chat here. All right, we're 29 minutes out, 142 knots over the ground. If you want to know, that's right here. That's what I'm looking, 142 knots over the ground. We're looking to make sure everything's in the green. Oil pressure, everything is looking good. Fuel quantity looks good. Got plenty of, everything else is looking good over there. Wind is still at our back. We're still at autopilot's looking good. We got 67 miles to go. So, and we'll probably do a flyover. I'll probably get off autopilot. We'll just fly around the island, duck underneath the clouds, fly around the islands, check things out, see what we can see, and then we'll land and then taxi and shut her down. Everything is looking real good. So, all right, so here we go. So, Kaipo, I grew up playing games as early as 2005, and every once in a while, my siblings will play a classic game for our, yeah, oh, absolutely, yeah. Well, unfortunately, my brother decided to, that's why I'm kind of into supporting mental health, not hardcore or anything like that, but when I played the game, what was the really weird game that came out here? Oh no, how could I, it was by Crows, Stanley Parable. And then that deals with suicide. Well, my brother, when he's 4 years older, and in 2019, the end of my first YouTube year, the day after Christmas, he decided to inject himself with a lethal dose of cocaine and heroin, I think. So he died. That's what lethal means, Mike. But yeah, he was even more of a gamer than I was, and he liked all of those games. He liked gaming more than anything. He liked those classic games like you're mentioning, Kaipo. He liked chess, right? And I think he played a little bit of the Japanese game Go, but he really did enjoy chess. And then he collected all the video game, consoles and all that kind of stuff. So, but well, yeah, that's good. Indie gamer, yeah, I'm looking forward to. I'll be honest, indie gamer, I am. I saw your post on on Twitter about hey, talking about games, talking about indie games, and I'll just say, there's a thing I really like about indie games. So, right, about these small, independent or individual, even gamers. I started my channel, my new branded Uncle Mike here channel, playing the game Omno, OMNO, Omno. Amazing. Absolutely amazing game. I think it was developed by a German guy. I think he just made it, and it was just so much fun. And thank you. Yeah, no worries. Hey, it's it's just another story in the story of our lives, which are all amazing. So don't forget that, right? But yeah, this game Omno. And so what I like about indie games is that I might even found out about Omno from your channel. I might have been looking at stuff long before I restarted all this, and so you know, we just kind of connected recently, right? And I guess I ought to do like GTA 5 connected. What's that? No, it's docking, right? Wasn't that in the game? Docking, like an emote you could do, or that's what the guy that, you know, the Steve Jobs and Grand Theft Auto 5. Okay, sorry, I digress too. As you can tell, streaming is good for me because I just blab along. I just talk. So I try to engage with the viewers, and so. But one thing I do like about indie games is that, to me, either these independent or individual developers, you can almost, through their game, have like a relationship with them as people, because they're trying to tell you a story, right? Or perhaps a feeling or an emotion or an event, like Omno. So I'm about to kind of spoil Omno here for any lurkers or anybody who's interested in playing Omno. But the thing about Omno is it's all about, you think you're trying to find what you need to find in your life, and it's always there, whether it be friendship or whatever. And the game kind of focuses on friendship, and eventually you discover that you don't need to go into the light to find whatever you need to find. It's always been right there next to you the whole time. And in this case, to me, it was the developer was telling a story about finding friendship, and it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. So you're getting, like, you're literally having like a conversation, man, that's the word, conversation with the developer through their game. So if you start thinking about what was the developers thinking, right, when they created this art form that we now get to play, that's amazing. That's how I think about this stuff. One reason is because I'm weird, man. That's why. All right, let's get back in the cockpit here. We can talk all day. I've got a little squawk here in this airplane. I cannot change the range of the map, so I have to do this just by what data we see here. So we're 22 minutes out, roughly. We've got 53 miles to go. So we'll start down here in a little bit. So if we're at 9,500 feet, zipping along, if we did a 500 foot per minute descent, that would take us, you know, roughly, you know, what? Let's see, 10 minutes would be 5,000 feet. So, yeah, we could actually go ahead and start down here, just a nice gentle. All right, let's see if I can do this without screwing this all up here, okay? All right, so I'm going to set our altitude here for, oh, I gotta do it because the buttons are all messed up. I'm gonna set the altimeter for, let's go down to 1,500 feet, 1,500 feet. All right, and now let's set for a 500 foot per minute descent, because in 10 minutes will be 5,000 feet, right? Yes. There we go. We're going to speed up too. Let's watch our everything over here looking good. Going to get a little bit of speed. I'm not going to need to reset any of the power settings or anything like that. So, all right, so we're on our descent down here to Great Harbour in the Berry Islands. And again, I will put a link to the actual in real life video that I am recreating in the end card, and also it's already in the description of this video, so you can actually see Steve O. Knievo's flight out here in the same airplane, from the same starting point to the same destination. Weather about the same. You never you know, you're trying to recreate stuff in the simulator, you know. It's kind of hard to do. So yeah, Indy, yeah, the personal is a good name, a good way to do it. And so yeah, so I literally had an emotional reaction at the end of Citizen Sleeper, right? I also had one in that Stanley Parable, because you basically make a decision if you want to commit suicide or not. So Yeah, exactly, Kaipo. Yeah, you know, and whether the game the game itself tells a story, and that's the thing. Here's something, I'm going to give you something. So, since I've done 51 laps around the sun, here's a moment of wisdom. All right? So, moment of wisdom here from Uncle Mike, your favorite gamer's favorite uncle. And that is, when people talk about something, if they're talking about it in factual terms, then they're talking about the thing. But if they talk about the thing in terms of a description, then they're really talking about themselves. Okay, so that is the word of wisdom. What do I mean by that? Well, like if I say right here, if I say, wow, the water and the sky are blue. Yeah, that's kind of like factual, right? Right? But then if I said, wow, that view is beautiful. Well, now what I'm doing is I'm telling you about myself on how I'm reacting to what is out there, what I'm seeing. And so I'm really telling you about myself, right? And that's why I really also a lot of times enjoy Twitter, is because most people on Twitter, all they're doing is just telling you about themselves. They're not talking facts, right? They're not, they're talking about themselves. They're giving you their emotional reaction. And that's then one of the reasons why I like independent games. I like indie games because they are giving you their art form, their story, their artistic flair, right? And so you get in touch with the person on the other side, on the other side. Where Flight Sim is a simulation. This is a factual game, right? This is what a Cessna 182 Turbo looks like. I've flown them. This is right. This is it. This is everything. Most things work in here, but so that's like even can be a translation into gaming. When somebody says, oh, you get the MP3. Is that the ump? Let's say ump, right? You get the ump in Call of Duty, and it sits, it shoots out, every bullet's 200 points of damage, and it shoots out this. That's all factual stuff. When somebody says, oh, the ump in Call of Duty sucks, they're not talking about the gun anymore. They're talking about themselves. Think about it. Think about it even in your own life. You'll learn a lot of stuff about people if you start thinking that way. You'll learn a lot about the person, not about the thing that they're talking about, but about them. So, I don't know. That's just me. That's your Uncle Mike. Because that's why I'm your favorite gamer's favorite uncle. Right? All right, so we are descending down here at 500 feet per minute. Nice, easy. We're 15 minutes out. 38 miles out. We got a cloud like right in our way. VFR. Just a second. Visual flight rules say that I need to stay clear of the clouds, but we'll see. We might go right through the clouds. Don't tell anybody though. Okay. Yeah, we got this. We are cranking too. We are. How fast are we now? 149 knots. Let's see if we can get. See how fast we can get this thing here in the descent. But we're coming up to never exceed speed, but normal cruise here. So let's go ahead. We're also descending down. Let's go ahead and dial in some mixture. Let's dial in some prop. We're gonna speed up here in our descent. Let's go to 24 inches of manifold. There we go. Let's go to 25 inches of manifold. Whoa. Probably an airliner on ADSB. Where'd he go? He's behind us. No? Doesn't tell us his altitude. Yeah, well, some plane crossed over us or underneath us or something, but I don't know. Okay, how we doing? 155 knots. Okay, we're right at 141 knots. Okay, whoa, we're gonna back off here a little bit. Let's go ahead and back off here. There we go. Go right there. Okay, 155 knots. Screaming. 12 minutes out. Yeah, that's good. Nah, we got this thing cranking. I'm liking that. 32 miles out. Did we just go through that cloud? Oh, the cloud dissipated. That is amazing. There's the cloud. That is amazing. So I got real world weather on. That is amazing. the cloud dissipated before we got to it. All right, let me catch up here. So, have you seen the 1967 show called Speed Race? Yeah. Yeah. I haven't watched a lot of it, but yeah, I mean, you got to remember, back in those days, TV was a bigger deal, really, than it is now. I know it's a big deal now, don't get me wrong, with all the streaming services. But you got to think about all the stuff that we've got that's remakes now. Back then, they were all original shows. My favorite, Thunderbirds, the ones with the puppets. Oh, slow down my beating heart. All right, let me go back in the cockpit here. It makes the noise a little less here. So, yeah, but it would be neat, indie gamer. If you think about I have a perspective. Some of these general aviation and planes, I've actually flown in real life. I've actually got my logbook right over here, and I don't fly anymore. I haven't flown since the 90s, so all the rules, airspace, all that stuff has changed. All right, we've got to maintain VFR. I'm not too worried about what's right in front of us here. So these little clouds, they'll probably dissipate maybe before we get there. So, but I can actually see through them, so I can still maintain VFR. So I'm good. So yeah, it does give you a great perspective because, again, it's one of those factual things. It's a simulator. So to me, this all makes, it makes sense. I've been in the real world, right? But that's also why I like, again, those games. A lot of these indie games is because I don't know anything about them. That's what makes it fun. So, all right, I'm going to go into heading mode here. I'm going to go ahead and deviate here just to make sure we stay clear of that cloud there. And so, yeah, it's oh, come on back now. There we go. So yeah, it's one of the things, like I said, I really like about these indie games. I really like about them is that all right, we're coming. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna go ahead and go full rich. We're under 5,000 feet. Got plenty of fuel, so I'm not too worried about saving fuel or anything like that. So we went full rich. And just coming on down here, just cranking it down. Whew, man, we are just hauling. All right, clear those clouds. Let's go ahead and get back on course here. This little cloud right here to our left. I'm not too worried about it. We'll just bust right through that thing. But I don't have any experience developing a game. The closest thing I can say that I got into developing a game was that okay, so again, don't tell anybody we're going to bust through this cloud right here. But we were VFR, so we're not really supposed to do that, but we're just going to go ahead and bust. You can kind of see through it, so it's not like a real bad, big cloud or anything like that. Sorry about that. Breaking the rules is, you can see the islands though out in front of us now, the Berry Islands. What was I talking about? Damn, I forgot what I was talking about. Talking about games. Oh, the closest thing I ever got to really developing a game, that's what it was, sorry, I figured it out, was in Far Cry 5, where you play in Montana and all that, which was a lot of fun. But they gave you an editor in that game, and that was a lot of fun because you could actually kind of make your own maps and stuff, and I think it was based on the Unity engine, so you kind of got a flavor for it. And I played around with that for a little bit. So, oh, another airplane passing behind us here. Probably way up high though. Yeah, way up there. You can hardly even see him. You can see his anti-smash lights up there in the sun. A lot of airline, like I said, a lot of other real-world people play this game as a commercial airliner sim. So, all right, I'm not going to worry about this either. We're going to duck underneath this cloud. I see we got ADSB. I don't see anybody that we need to be worried about. Passing through almost 3,100 feet. So, but yeah, so that was fun. But yeah, I don't know what it takes to make these games, you know, and so on. And so, you know, it's just so much fun to be able to come in here and just literally learn what the game's all about. So, all right, we're going to bring up ATC here, and I'm going to go ahead and, so there it is. Mike Yankee Bravo Golf, Great Harbor Key, number 2 on the list. Let's go ahead and dial them up. Let's go ahead and select the runway for landing. I don't know. Right now it looks like the wind is still at our back. So the wind looks like it's coming out of the west. So let's select the runway for landing. So, oof, geez, it's going to be a crosswind no matter what, huh? So we can either be going, you know, do we want to come in at heading of 13? No, we definitely don't want to do that. So we're going to do runway 31. So we're going to go ahead and pick runway 31. And how far out are we here? Let's go ahead and see here. We are 16 miles out. We don't need to make a call right now. But now you can see the Berry Islands out there. There they are. So we are still in heading mode. I'm going to come down here and back out of this and put that on here. I'm going to go ahead and it's runway 31, so that's 310. So we're going to go ahead and get our CDI here set up. So that green arrow is the orientation of the runway. That's just one thing that we can actually do. So all right, so we're descending down. Got a little bit. We're going to level off, and then we'll need to reset the power settings and all that for 1,500. But we're all good right now. Power's in. Just for collision avoidance here, I'm going to go ahead and turn on the landing lights. So now the landing lights are on there on the wing. You can see it on. So all right, so. Looking forward, okay, so they're actually big games. I don't follow a lot of indie stuff. That's why I found you, Indie Gamer, because I've been trying to find more information about Xbox indie games. So the games that I'm really looking forward to, well, this year they've all been postponed, so I got to backtrack. So looking forward to Saints Row, but again, not a independent gamer or independent game. I'm going to go ahead just real quick here. I'm going to go ahead and do a deviation here to the left, to the north, and talk about something over here. This is the Berry Islands. Oh, right there. So it's just still under autopilot. We're going to start to level off here. So yeah, I be honest with you, no. Besides, independent games, no, I really don't know what's coming out from an independent on Xbox. That's the problem. Sometimes I find these games, I'm like, oh yeah, check this out, and then I look and it's not like Apico, the beekeeping thing. Man, I was like, oh, posting, but of course it comes out on Switch and it comes out on PC and then you can't play it. It looks like a fun art, kind of game, city building, whatever you want to call it, for making bees. It looked fun, So any games you don't have, wait, any games if you don't have any, yeah, so obviously I was looking forward to Starfield because I'm a space person, aviation, space, and all that, so I was looking forward to Starfield. Just a second, I'm going to just check the plane real quick here so we don't crash. Everything looks in the green. Yeah, we're good at this power setting here, we're good here. Let's go ahead and, yep, everything's looking good, okay. Oh, also just so you know, right off the nose here, so right off the nose, these islands right here, that island right here, that's actually Royal Caribbean's private island. They haven't modeled anything really new. And then this island right here is Norwegian Cruise Line's private island. So when you go on to like Royal Caribbean, it says, you know, perfect day at Coco Key, I think it is. That's the island. That's Coco Key, what they call it. So. And then these are all the Berry Islands, and where we're heading is over here to Great Harbor. So I just wanted to come over here, let you see that. So real stuff, actually, you know, there's... Another reason why this flight sim is so amazing is because it's Google Earth. It's Google Earth with airplanes. So if you like Google Earth and stuff, hey, so. Yeah, I'll actually be at Coco Key the second week of August. Done some travel in my life too, so. All right. Well, things are going to get busy here. Also looking forward to Kerbal Space Program 2 coming out. That's a great game. Talk about learning space and rocketry by basically having fun blowing stuff up. Here it is, amazing. But yeah, I play indie games. That is kind of fun. Look at them. Even if I live stream them, I will sometimes. Then what I'll do is, if I don't like the game or it's not really for my channel, even though I've live, I'll just take them off. So, but yeah, that's Norwegian Cruise Line's private island, and then that right there is Royal Caribbean. Doesn't look like that anymore. They have any model. They used to have a dock, or they have a dock and stuff now. So yeah, and we're heading down here to the Great Harbor. So the airport is right out here. So we're close, but I'm going to kind of give you a tour of the island. Then we'll go land, and that will be the flight. So we'll just kind of cruise here. So Outer Wilds, I have it on like to play later. And I had it. I played it when it first came out, and then I don't know. It just didn't. For some reason, it didn't grab me. So I took it off the Xbox One at the time, and I have it here on Play Later I've already downloaded that. Yeah, that's on the external drive here on my Xbox Series S. So, all right. So here's Berry Islands and Great Harbor, the town of Great Harbor. So we'll fly over this here. Let's go ahead, and we've already told them that we are going to do, no, we haven't done, so let's go ahead and announce a full stop landing. And let's go ahead and tell them where we're at. I don't think there's anybody around.
Mike Yankee Bravo Golf, traffic November 59er, 6 kilo 5 miles northwest, 1,500 feet inbound to land runway tree 1.
All right, so everything's looking good. The airport is right in front of us here, but what we're going to do, it's just under autopilot, just keep it nice and simple. We're going to deviate here just a little bit to the right so you can see. We can look out the window, and we go to external. This old runway right below us here. Probably was going to be some type of private fly-in strip. Check out the boats out there. You can see the boats. So here we're coming into Great. Yep. Go ahead, make sure. We'll do a GUMPS check on final. GUMPS, so you learn that as one of the little last mental checklists that you do, and GUMPS. So it basically means gas on, both tanks, gas on the fullest tank, undercarriage, we don't have to worry about that because it's fixed gear, mixture, props, seats, and seat belts. So that's a GUMPS check. There you go, you learned something about flying. So now here we are, just flying over. Look at this, beautiful. Look at that water, all the reefs and stuff. But there's the landing strip. We're going to be landing coming back toward us, so we're going to come down here, and we're actually going to go ahead and do an orbit around the airport, and then we'll land. But yeah, this is a great harbor. Resort and the boats dock down there. You can even get a little bit better scenery if you on the Xbox Series X, and I will get a Series X later on in the year. All right, let's go ahead and get set up here for getting off autopilot. So we're gonna come prop full RPMs on the old prop. Get ready for landing. I'm gonna go ahead and come back on the power. We're doing 130 knots indicated. We don't be going that fast. So slow down just a little bit, but there. You can actually hear the RPMs. The prop sounds faster because we've taken the pitch out of it. There was an airplane crash over here. I don't know if we'll be able to see it in this flight sim. So I'm gonna go ahead and start a turn here back toward the airport and just see if we can. We're at 1,500 feet, so we're above traffic pattern altitude. So if somebody else wanted to come in to land, they'd usually be at 1,000 feet, so they'd be 500 feet below us. So all right, let's go ahead and turn up the beach here. Yeah, somewhere out here there was like I said, a plane wreck, but I don't see it. I don't know if it got modeled in or if you can see it from the air. I think it went in back here. There's our airstrip that we'll go in. And then this is, obviously you can see how it's for the winds and stuff. I mean, it's a beautiful beach out here. So we'll just make an orbit, and then we'll set up for a left downwind for runway 31. That's the way we're gonna land, right there, once we're all set. Yeah, it's a great sim. It just really is a great sim here, especially if you just like Google Earth and you want to kind of, like I said, learn how to fly. So, all right, I'm going to go back in the cockpit here and just go ahead and have the autopilot do a final turn here, so that way we can look around. It's hard in the sim to look around and fly, so I'm going to keep it under autopilot here while we're just looking around. But it's amazing how they've taken the Google Earth images and all that kind of stuff and then put them here in the sim. But look at the water. Look at that. So in the real life video, you'll see that the actual sailboat sailing La Vagabonde was anchored out here, like right out here in the bay here. But I don't see that it's here, or if even just the image. Sometimes, you know, they'll pick up on the image if the boat was there during the time that the plane. So it doesn't look like, I don't see a little white speck. Actually, there might have been a little white speck right there. I'm not sure. So, all right, let's go in the cockpit. Let's get set up for landing. So we've got to have mixture is full rich, and prop is max RPMs. That's in. That's in. And let's go ahead and slow down a little bit more, get into the white arc so we can start putting in some flaps. Let's go ahead and announce our position again, just to
Mike Yankee Bravo Golf, traffic November 59er, 6 kilo, 2 miles north, 1,500 feet inbound to land runway tree 1.
all right, that beep is the autopilot coming off. I am now flying this. All right, let's go ahead and put 1 notch of flaps in. And 1 notch of flaps. descend down to 1,000 feet. What we're doing is we're just going to basically circle the airport here. Trim, trim, trim. All right, just cruising along here at 88 knots. Again, there's the runway, but we're not landing that way. That's downwind. Again, it's a little tougher when you're on the sticks, you know, when you're actually flying with the controller. Need to come down still a little bit. Get that trim set. All right, now we're on downwind for runway 31. Looking good. Get a little bit more of a descent. All right, we're on downwind. I'm going to go ahead and announce downwind. That is number 5.
Mike Yankee Bravo Golf, traffic November 5996 kilo is on downwind.
There we go, we're on downwind. Looking good, I like it. All right, first gumps check. So gas is on full, undercarriage is down and locked because it's always down and locked. Mixture of props, seats and seat belts, I like it. All right, we already got 1 notch of flaps. Speed check, second notch of flaps coming in. Indicated, yep, second notch of flaps down. All right, into the runway, we're gonna go ahead and go out over here to the beach. That's a good, we could say that's a good landmark. Then we'll start our turn to final. Might be a little slow here, I'm not really sure. Maybe 80 knots is what we ought to do an approach. Trim, trim, trim. All right, at the beach, let's go ahead and turn final. Here we go. This is when it gets fun. All easy. It's just kind of working systems before. Now we're gotta hold that nose up. Don't let that nose drop down as we go into the turn. We can go wingman view so you can see. There we are. There's the airport. Everything's looking good. 80 knots, 82 knots actually, but we can slow that down. We're gonna need to come back here. Didn't make it really tight enough turn, so we're kind of overshot the runway. No problems there. All right, I like what I see. Full flaps. Yep, I like it. Trim, trim, trim. 72 knots. Carry a little bit more power than that. All right, we are on final here. Let's go ahead. I'm not sure. I got to bring up ATC. It is number 2 on the list.
Mike Yankee Bravo Golf, traffic November 5996 kilo is on final runway tree 1 to land.
All right. Airport is made. Come back to flight idle. You do that, man. It really takes the nose out. Whoa, 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 whoa. Ooh, that was a hard landing. Oof. Sorry about that, folks. That was, oof. Not really used to this airplane. All right, flaps up. Oof. Oof. Yeah, well, we're on the ground. I do have crash on, so if we actually overstressed the airplane, we would have crashed. So, but that landing gear took a beating. It took a beating. I wasn't used to, as soon as you take the power out, man, that nose just wants to drop. And I was trimmed up for the power setting, but whew, man, it just came right out. That was that was not amazing. But we just get the taxi to the end here, since the ramp is down here at the end. There we go. Start braking here. There's the fuel. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. But it sucked. All right. Oh, somebody just decided to spawn. Is he gonna shoot at us? Is he gonna tell us something? Is that where he wants us to park? I don't know. But I'm gonna park where I want to. All right. Let's put the parking brake on. Let's see what we've got here. So we can go ahead and lights can come all off. Everything's looking good, looking good, looking good, looking good. Flaps are up. I like it. Ooh. I had the cowl flaps closed. Ooh, I might have overheated the engine. Should have used the checklist. Should have used the checklist. That's also why I need a community. See, community to help me fly. They'd be, hey, you need to check that. Oh, watch yourself. But we're okay. We're okay. Probably would have overheated down here in the Bahamas, though. All right, let's kill the mixture, kill the fuel. There we go, huh? Yeah. You're off. Yep, I understand. Low vacuum warnings. Yep, I got you. All right, we can now. Can you actually turn the fuel off, or is it just fuel selector? There we go. Fuel's off. All right, avionics and all that kind of stuff. Everything's looking good. Go ahead. Avionics master comes off. There we go. She's shut down. We can turn the key. Turn the key off. And there we go. This is supposed to have a little clipboard, a little tablet where you can actually put stuff outside around the airplane. So you can put like chocks under the wheels and covers, but it's not working. So, but there we are. Welcome to the Berry Island, so we can deliver a secret package to the sailboat sailing La Vagabonde, which again, I have links down in the description. I also have a link in the in-card to the actual real flight that was done by Steve-O Knievel in this airplane out to the same place and all that. It's a lot of fun to me to recreate those flights. Future flights, we're going to be flying in turboprops. We're going to be flying in bush planes. We're going to be flying. I'm not really going to do commercial stuff. Won't do a lot of jets and all that. So mostly piston engine, 'cause that's what I flew and all that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, I appreciate you coming along. Kaipo! Appreciate you being here, talking about your experiences and all that kind of stuff. Let's go ahead and jump into the living room here. In case you're new, if you look right over here, that is the Sylvania VHS combo TV that still plays the Xbox on it. You can see it back there because it's a live view of what I'm seeing here on Xbox. You know what? That's amazing. But yeah, I appreciate you guys joining Indie Gamer. Thank you for showing up here and chatting with me. It's been a lot of fun, and maybe as I get more content and more knowledgeable about indie games, it would be a lot of fun to join your live stream or your podcast as a contributor. But I would say right now, I'd like to also watch some of your content and all of this, because we just kind of recently connected. So we've got opportunities, which will make it a lot of fun. So, all right. Well, with that, what do I need to tell you? Well, one is subscribe if you haven't, please. Also, don't forget, thumbs up. Don't forget, thumbs up, because you are amazing. And speaking of amazing and the thumbs up, make sure you go hit that like button, please. Because you know why? Because hitting that like button, you know what it does? It activates the YouTube algorithm. You know it. It's your birthday. So yeah, hit that like button, please. And with that, I'll say, I'm Uncle Mike, your favorite gamer's favorite uncle. I'll see you next time, everybody. Bye. Well, that was an amazing live stream. Have them in chat. That was so much fun. Thank you so much. Also, I will put somewhere up here the card to the actual flight. So, see you, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Bye.